leveling the education sector with a possible looming strike expected in the coming days. Let me get back with you, Collins. Just after or before the break, rather, we are speaking about that issue on the CBA. Now, the phase 2 of that CBA, of course, was signed in 2021, and an addendum that Akilo has talked to in 2023, which was to effect or put this into effect by 1st of July in 2024. We are alive to the fact that CBAs are legally binding documents.
Right.
So that therefore means that it doesn't matter whichever regime is in office, it has to be implemented one way or the other. You've ascertained right here that you're going to have your meeting with the government officials as from tomorrow. Now, my question is that when you're going into these discussions, is the aspect of the timing of this CBAs taken into consideration? Because, say for example, one that was signed in 2021, and this is an exclusive sort of example. This was signed at a time when we were in a very hotly contested sort of electioneering period. So chances and emotions were high. It could have been signed to appease the teaching fraternity for all this to actually go as smoothly as possible. So when you are getting into these conversations, we've already ascertained that CBAs have to be implemented one way or the other. Is there that listening ear to the government saying, you know what, this was signed at this time and circumstances have changed?
I don't think that is true.
Yeah.
I just want to draw you back to the fact that we signed a cashless CBA 2021, 2025.
Yeah.
Then an addendum in 2023 in 2 phases. First phase 2023, July. Second phase 2024, July. Basically, to cushion the less fortunate and the low salary earners in this country. And that is where teachers are categorized. When you come around and ask that, you know, we don't have something to do about this, I don't think it is sensible at all. Because we shall ask you, what was the reason behind the addendum? And I've just told you, basically to cushion the less fortunate in matters remuneration, and that is where teachers are. So what has happened between 2023 to 2024, now that you can claim that teachers are better off? They're not. In fact, they're worse off. And I said earlier, and I want to repeat, any phase of the CBA awarded, the next one is already in the payslip. And you plan for it. Teachers planned. You know, what was in the addendum is just enough to allow a teacher to acquire a loan, to repay back the loan. What are you going to tell this teacher who actually is already in the mix? That is why teachers are now gun blazing. And as leaders in trade unions, the 2 trade unions, Kenya National Union of Teachers and KUPPET, we don't have anywhere to place our heads. Teachers are out for us. Where is phase 2? So, I didn't mean to say that I don't mind about Teacher Service Commission getting money from where and so on and so forth. It is their duty. It is their duty based on the priorities that are there. Was this not a priority? Was this not a priority? It is 13.3 billion. It ought to be a priority in the first place. So what we are saying in a nutshell, because this CBA was signed in accordance with the Labour Charter, the Constitution of Kenya as it is, and the relevant labor laws in place, we shall not run away from it. And TSC should prepare. Teachers are not running away from this, led by the union leaders. We are not running away from it. We want the implementation of the second phase of the CBA.
As a top priority.
That's a top priority. Among other key issues that we are also going to lay out here. Yes.
All right. We'll be getting back to that in a few. Let's talk about another concern here that has been raised by teachers. Of course, it's on the issue of promotion of teachers. And as we get to this, my director can just have one of the statements that was made by a teacher in Elgeyo Marakwet. Let's look at this. This is a teacher in Elgeyo Marakwet. They say, can someone tell me what is wrong with my file? Or what is TSC looking for in these interviews? I'm shortlisted every year, but never considered for promotion. Teachers that I interviewed for me, mentored, are now getting ahead of me and becoming my bosses. It's quite demoralizing. I think I will opt for an early retirement. That was a statement from one of the teachers in Elgeyo Marakwet, meaning there is an issue with promotion of teachers. Now, earlier this year, I believe sometime around March, TSC published a list of teachers who had been promoted. I believe well in the tune of 36,000 teachers that had been promoted. As much as we had teachers who had been promoted, there was a large chunk of those who felt disappointed. One of them is that teacher from Elgeyo Marakwet. Now, in as much as TSC has its shortcomings, you as trade unions, people who are responsible for these teachers, is this a matter that has reached your desk? And what has been done about it? Because seemingly we have teachers who haven't been promoted well over in the tune of 8 years. Maybe to begin with you, Akelo.
My brother, I think that teacher has just fallen short of telling you. In fact, I have 1,001 messages related to promotion. And on top of the next aspect of what we are holding Teacher Service Commission on is the promotion of 130,000 teachers.
Yeah.
You know, in this country, you either choose what you think you want to finance. The Teacher Service Commission, under the pretext that they are pursuing another career progression strategy of how to manage the teachers, has a backlog of promotions. It is only that you are discussing with us the 2021-2025.
Yeah.
But I want to tell you that from 2016, we have had to contend with the registration of CBAs. And that's why you have seen where in the absence of a CBA or non-implementation of a CBA, then there's noise. From 2016, October to date, we have never had noise. Because we are sure of certain things. We agreed with the Teacher Service Commission that teachers, every school in this country, whether it is primary or secondary, is an establishment of its own. For example, a high school, for example, a sub-county school is having a principal, a deputy principal, and some heads of department. This one, the Teacher Service Commission penned their signatures, as my brother would wish to explain here. Do you know we have across the geographical divide and all schools, there are schools in this country which are being run by teachers in acting capacity.
And why is this so?
Acting capacity because the Teacher Service Commission engaged on the CBA of the 2016-2021, which established substantive appointment of head teachers of schools, heads of department, and deputy head teachers of schools. Okay,
but why are teachers, you're saying this is TSC, why are teachers asking and blaming you as the unions asking?
That's why my brother has told you he doesn't have where he places his head. I don't know whether when I leave this place I will reach my house. This is one thing which is so serious. In fact, I've told you that the Teacher Service Commission has degraded the professional standards of this country, of teachers. And one of them is keeping teachers in graduate group for far too long. People are demoralized. They don't want to. And now when we have demoralized our workforce, even here at the studio, you will not have news at 9. Even this punchline you have called us for, we'll have to delay after around 10:30 because of a demoralized workforce. This is what is happening. This is what is happening in teaching. You have teachers who do not want to, they have now gone into drug addiction, alcoholism and so on, because a teacher must now contend with a cheap liquor to survive.
Okay, Akilo, I'm coming back to you. Let me just jump on Collins with this as you give your response to the same just before we take a short quick break. I mean, again to TSC in terms of capitation, promotion is one of the aspects that they get to handle. TSC in their budget requested for 2.2 billion to handle promotion of teachers, but they were allocated 1 billion. As you give your response on the same, again, a normal Kenyan seated in his living room would ask, where is the money to do this promotion?
Okay. I want to concur with the Elgeyo Marakwet teacher first before I react to that.
Yeah.
It is not even 8 years has he pronounced.
Yeah.
We have teachers who have stagnated for over 15 years. Same job group, same grade. And, you know, again, these teachers went for interviews. The sad part of it is that some have even attended interviews 3 times. 3 times, even 4 times. They get shortlisted, they go for interviews. That in itself is one gap that must be sorted out by Teacher Service Commission. In a retreat in Naivasha, we told them, why must teachers go for interviews 2 times? 1 time is enough. Then, because we must all understand the meaning of data bank. If you've attended interview once, then your name should remain in the data bank. Then when the chances therein, you are picked from the data bank. A teacher cannot be a repeater of an examination several times. So they get demoralized because, just as the teacher said, they go to the interview several times, they're shortlisted, no promotion.
Collins, in other professions, there have been instances where interviews are sort of used to sort of put in some lousy games inside there to probably see some people benefit, others do not benefit. Could this be a possible case with whatever teachers are experiencing?
In fact, you've mentioned it. Because if some get promoted after a very short time, and they came from college, same grades with these ones who are there for over 15 years, what are we talking about? Is it at the hands of Teacher Service Commission clean in these promotions? I have cases, various cases in my office, where one claims that one who came from college just 4 or 5 years back has been promoted. This one person has stagnated for over 15 years, no promotion. What do you have to say about experience if the longer you stay is not even considered? That is actually wrong. And to add to that, there are job groups or grades like B5. We advise Teacher Service Commission, forget about B5. Why must teachers be in B5? Let teachers come into C1 straight away. And then they don't even stagnate, get them to C2, C3 and so on. So the idea of stagnation, I want to concur with Secretary General Akelo Misori that we have 130,000 who have stagnated. They went for interviews, no promotions. Only 36,000 was promoted. When you ask me about capitation, if
just hold that thought, just hold that, Collins. I want to take a short break right here on Punchline. When we get back with the conversation, we wind down on these issues that are being presented by the trade unions on the state of teaching in our country. We'll be back in a short while.
Have you watched K24? We would love to hear from you. Send us your feedback on what you like and what you don't like and why. You can use any platform to reach us. We can be reached on Facebook, SMS, Twitter and WhatsApp.